The three most important qualities to look for in a therapist. Believe it or not, therapeutic orientation is not one of them. So whether he's psychodynamic, cognitive behavioral, REBT, EMDR, you name it, whatever, it doesn't matter so much. It matters a little bit, but not that much. What matters the most are three qualities, three interpersonal qualities. These are things that the therapist carries with him or her. And they are interpersonal trust. So interpersonal trust, I'll tell you all of them at once. So the three things are interpersonal trust, interpersonal comfort, and ability to inspire hope. Interpersonal trust, that's something that's very quickly determined. Interpersonal trust is you sit down in front of someone, you give one look to the person, and you can tell this person will cheat me out of my money. This person will blow up my secrets to the world. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean by interpersonal trust. Interpersonal comfort, that refers to when I sit in front of someone, do they respond with their correct tonality, right? So do they vary their responses and they act a little weird and aloof? That would be an example of makes me feel a little uncomfortable in front of this person. It's social graces, I would say. There is a certain level of social graces that are necessary, or it doesn't have to be necessarily social graces, because I've also met therapists and individuals who might be a little bit more aloof, but at the same time, they make me feel comfortable, right? So is there something about the individual that is off-putting? Right, that makes me feel like, I don't really want to be here. Are they too aggressive, perhaps, right? So that's interpersonal comfort. And the last one, that's my favorite one, most important one. By the way, when I hire therapists to work my private practice, I screen for these hard. And my favorite one, the one I focus on the most, is the last one, which is hope, ability to inspire hope. This one is, in my view, almost everything. If you can't, as a therapist, if you cannot inspire hope, man, you got nothing. You get nothing, because people come to you depressed. People come to you worn out. And you gotta find a way to help them bring themselves up. And one of the worst things that, in my view, therapists do, and I know this comes from training, but I disagree with a handful amount of things that we do when we train therapists. And one of those things that I disagree with is this desire to be so objective. Again, I don't know if you've seen my other video on objectivity. Objectivity is not a thing. It's not a thing. Truth is difficult to pin down. I mean, unless we're talking about math, right? If we're talking about math or maybe physics, yeah, you can get some truth in there. But when we're talking about life, man, it's a lot more complex than being able to say, oh, this is true and this is not. So a lot of times and I test for this when I interview therapists, is when a client asks. So I have my therapist do a fake session with an actress. A lot of times when when a client asks them, "Will I be okay? Do you think I could recover from this?" A lot of therapists give a weak, flimsy answer. They'll say something like, "I don't know. Maybe, maybe not." That's like, well, when I hear that answer, I'm thinking to myself, as a client, I'm thinking to myself, why am I here then? If you don't know, it's like, you got to have some level of confidence that things can at least get better, that something's going to get better, So that's the last piece that's, in my view, is pivotal, absolutely important. Can the therapist that you're thinking of working with, can they inspire hope in you? Now, this component is oftentimes overlaps with the therapist's expertise. So the more command a therapist has over a theory, it doesn't matter what theory, again, it could be CBT, it could be psychodynamic, it could be whatever, the easier it is for them to make sense of whatever you're going through. If imagine how uplifting and inspiring and hope-inducing it is if you're confused about your problem, you're hurting right now, and you share it with somebody else, and then somebody else takes that, they filter it through their theory, right? and they make sense of it for you. They say, okay, that makes sense because of that and that, da, 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 right? They're just following their theory. But a good theory, you can filter almost everything through and come out with a good, solid understanding of why something is happening, right? So imagine that's what's happening for you. Someone has such a good mastery over whatever theory they're dealing with, whatever theory they prefer, that they're able to take your problem, make sense of it, and show you an avenue forward. That's one example of how mastery perhaps even spills into confidence for the therapist. But not only that, it allows the therapist to communicate the steps with which you can get out of your problem, you know? So that's that. Those are the 3 things. I hope you found this useful. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.